Piano Distributors. Are we on? I think I lost you. I was outside. Tell me that we're on. I think we lost the connection. So give me a comment, give me a thumbs up if you can see me and you can hear me. I think we are live. All right, we're on. Good, 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 good. So I'm here at Piano Distributors in Jupiter, Florida, and look at this, all of these pianos. Let me turn this camera around and I'm going to show you what we have here. It's quite unbelievable to see all of these pianos all in one place. I'm going to walk around a little bit and show you what we have before I introduce you to Steve. So we have the Yamaha Clavinovas over here as we go down this side. Let me put my glasses on as well so that I can see what you're writing. Look at this. Amazing, right? Just so much to see. So many grands. It's unbelievable. So what we've got over here are the acoustic uprights. You see a lot of Yamaha in here. You see a lot of Yamaha. All the lovely black polyester finish, and then we've got this one here, and then we've got this one here. And then as we walk down this side, again, just a fantastic array of grand pianos. Yamaha, what a lovely color that is, right? Keep losing Wi-Fi signal, Steve. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're live. We're still here. Keep losing signal for some reason. So here we are. We got more. We got another one here. Yamaha. We're back. Sorry, I kept losing signal. This is a hybrid upright. Hybrid grand. And then we have it keeps going on and on and on and on. We got some, look at this. A few used pianos down here. Amazing, right? Concert grand right here. So I did want to show you that little room as well. Look at that. Nice, right? And we have Vanessa here too. Say hi, Vanessa. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on a tripod here because I'm going to introduce you to Steve, and I don't think Vanessa can get me, so I'll tell you what, Vanessa, you'll be able to take a look on the tripod here. You'll be able to see the comments coming up on the live stream. So just give me a minute. I'm just going to put you on the tripod here, and I'll try and get Vanessa up as well so that hopefully we don't lose you. All right, I think we're good. Just bear with me a minute, folks. All right, I think we're good. Steve, come on in.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
So this is Steve, everybody. Vanessa, come on over here. Make sure that we've got a signal, right? So, Steve, I wanted to thank you, number one, for allowing us to come and do this. I know today's your day off. So Sunday, and we're socially distancing, we're wearing our masks. I want to talk a little bit about when I was just leaving school. I used to work in a music school back in Doncaster, Yorkshire. And Neil Newbert, he's probably on here, because he worked with me as well. Back in that day, 1984, 1985, you remember those years, right?
I do.
I think it was the YP, was the first one, right? Of the digital Clavinova
YDP?
series. Yeah, right. And then there was the CLP.
CLP means classic piano.
CVP.
CVP means was Clavinova versatile piano.
Perfect. So back in the day when I was selling musical instruments, it was Electone, because I was an organist, I was never a pianist. So we had tons of Electones, tons of digital keyboards. And when those pianos came out, I think they were AWM, Advanced Wave Memory, right? They were digital piano sounds. And we had a few pianos in the store. They were all uprights. We didn't have any brands. And I think predominantly English houses back in the UK are smaller. There's a lot of terrace houses and stuff. I think we had chapel pianos, started at around £1,300, going up to, you know, the black polyester Yamahas. I think, was it UA1?
U1.
U1. I think that was like £6,000. How much was it here?
Today it's about $10,000.
$10,000. They still do it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, amazing. So I remember coming in here just under a year ago. So I met you for the first time, and I was looking for something to add to my Yamaha GA1 Grand that recorded MIDI. Remember that conversation?
I do.
Right, and so Steve and I got chatting, and I've got to tell you, from 1984, I think I worked at that music store for 4 years or so, 1989, and a piano was a piano, right? And I think when I came in here to see you for the first time, I just couldn't believe, it blew me away to see these acoustic grands with so much digital technology built into them nowadays. How did that start with Yamaha?
Well, Yamaha invented the Disklavier back in the early 80s. And
Was it really early 80s?
Mhm.
Wow.
And the original Disklavier actually had a big cart sitting next to it.
Really?
A little baby grand with a big cart next to it. And all of the electronics for the Disklavier, in terms of operating it, were built into that cart because engineers thought if you put them in the piano, you would affect tone.
Oh, interesting.
So the only thing that was in the piano was the hardware to make the keys go up and down. So that was the beginning. Plus, to play files, we used floppy disks.
I remember those. They were in the Electones too.
Right.
I have a PSR 8000 keyboard from like 24 years ago. That's got the
Right.
floppy too.
And then, you know, the floppy went away, CDs came in. But the real big change was, gosh, 2005, I guess, or somewhere about then, USB. And with USB and a USB port, you can, you know, on a floppy disk, we might have on average 20 songs, either that you recorded or that the manufacturer recorded just for your enjoyment. Today, on just like a 2 gig USB flash drive, we could have 5,000 songs.
That's incredible. And then all the Wi-Fi capabilities too. You can download songs through the internet.
Right, and then Wi-Fi, and then just better Wi-Fi. Unlike here today maybe, but better Wi-Fi allowed for really robust streaming of piano music into some of our current Disklavier models.
Right.
So it's pretty fascinating. It, in a way, the player piano, the digital player piano, and all this technology has really saved the piano business.
I'm sure it has.
Because without it, I don't think today's generation has enough passion for the traditional acoustic piano like you and I do.
Right.
So in terms of the future, technology is winning over, and you know, we're very lucky because we're a Yamaha dealership.
Right.
There is no other company that has such a full range of products at every price point for every type of customer.
That's amazing.
So,
So the price point, we're talking about entry level, where are we?
so today, brand new acoustic uprights would begin at about $4,000.
Okay.
All right, and that would be kind of a medium height piano, not super tall, but with that same concept, really the other choice for a customer is our Clavinova digital pianos,
Yeah.
and they begin at $2,200, $2,300.
2,300.
So right there is a price point difference, which is definitely gonna assist people with choice.
Yeah.
And there's traditional customers that come in that say, no, I want the real deal.
Yeah.
But then there's other customers that see the benefits of the digital product, headphones, USB, being able to control volume. Mom and dad really like that.
They do. It's not just mom and dad. I remember when I was learning the organ. Do you remember the Yamaha? The Hammond C3?
Sure.
So I had an Hammond A100, which had all the speaker systems built in, 261 note keyboards, 32 note pedal board. And I remember when I practiced, the neighbors banging on the wall. My mum's on here; she'll tell you it was awful. And I think back to those days, and I think back to what my mum had to go through. Right? That's reality, though. When you get these loud instruments, you know,
Yeah.
you need a place that's either on its own.
Yeah, and let's face it, early music on any instrument isn't necessarily beautiful.
It's
Right.
true, yeah.
Right.
Violins, flutes, pianos, the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
But the goal is so worth it,
yeah,
you know? If mom and dad can just put up with that, you're doing such a, you know, you're doing such a fine thing for your children.
you are absolutely. So when somebody comes in here, they walk through that door. Of course, they're just in awe of the amount of stock that you have.
Yeah.
What is it generally that they're looking for when they walk through the door?
It's really a wide range, but in terms of, you know, I could break it down to types of customers, but I don't necessarily want to do that. It's really, well, maybe I can. I mean, we live in Florida.
Yeah.
So we have a mature population here, but more and more families every day
Yeah.
coming here. But when my mature customers come in, many of them grew up with acoustic piano. They love acoustic piano. Many of them play. It's amazing how many do. But then others that don't play love the piano so much, they want to see a Disklavier. They want to see an acoustic piano that will entertain them.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they want to feel the vibrations as it's playing.
Don't we all?
Yeah,
We
and
really do.
so what else can you buy that, you know, everybody's got, you know, maybe had their neat car and had all of the things that a successful person can obtain. Buying a piano is certainly one of the most unique things you can do.
Yeah, it is. And so many different tastes as well, you know, and it's like cars too. You know, you'll have a certain amount of money that you're willing to spend on a car, and then other people have got an unlimited amount
Yeah.
of money that they can spend on a car.
And so many hobbies or things that you like kind of have a time period. Piano doesn't.
No.
You know,
It
if you apply yourself to enjoying it, either by just listening to it or by learning to play, it can be the rest of your life.
They can. And you know what I found from doing this YouTube channel? I mean, as people have been finding me and coming towards my channel, a lot of the comments are, I used to play as a kid, right? They have a work
Yes.
schedule, now they're kind of retired, or they have more time to be able to put to
Yeah.
something that they didn't really enjoy doing when they were a kid.
Right.
But now they're getting a great deal of enjoyment out of later on in life, picking it up and amazingly remembering the stuff that they did when they were
Right.
younger.
Right. I really didn't fully answer your first question though, and that is what type of things are people looking for? So then we have families that come in, and families, more and more, I think today's parent is just seeing the benefits of music. It's so great for a child's coordination,
Yeah.
for memory, for accomplishment. You know, I could go on and on,
Yeah.
but so we have customers that come in looking for pre-owned pianos because of budget reasons, or maybe customers that come in that have no idea what a piano costs, and we have to educate them on, you know, my job is to meet their needs and help them understand what's available and what possibly the best thing is for them. So that's, you know, another group that comes in. And then with the internet today, piano customers 20 years ago, it was totally up to the salesperson to educate them and to sell them the nuts and bolts of a piano.
Yeah.
Totally opposite today. People are so informed.
They know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
They know what exists out there.
Exactly. So, and then we also serve churches, institutions.
Of course.
You know, gosh, just schools. We have, you know, people from Asia here that live here. Piano's an enormous part of their life, and you know, from generation to generation, they take it very seriously. So we have a beautiful Asian community and a lot of shoppers from there, and everybody's different, you know. And
but the great thing in this store, you have something for everybody. You know, from, like you said, from entry level up to whatever they want to pay.
Right, exactly. So, and every piano really is beautiful. You know, it's just because something's expensive, you know, I guess, what am I saying? You know, yes, we'd love to sell expensive pianos all the time, but again, meeting the customer's needs, if I don't do that, we're not gonna sell anything.
Exactly, I know. But I'm looking at that concert grande, which is kind of expensive, right?
It
What are
is
we looking there price-wise?
about $200,000.
$200,000. So this is your Aston Martin right here, right?
It is.
But look at the size of it. I mean, you need a really big house to put that in.
Yeah.
It's not going to go in here. You have the average 3.2.
Right.
Here.
I don't know, can they see it?
They will do. We'll show it. We'll
Okay.
show them.
It's a 9-foot Bosendorfer concert grand, hand-built piano, made in Vienna. Probably, I think I've studied it and read that the woods in the piano, it's a 6-year process to build.
Is it 6 years to build one of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's like a really fine bottle of wine,
I'm sure.
you know, and
Yeah. I did a video on here a while ago with that piano, and you know everybody loved the tone of it and thought it was
Sure.
amazing.
sure. So, but, so we have just a beautiful selection, and
We do. It's
I
amazing.
don't know, did I answer your question?
You did, absolutely fantastic. So, guys, this is a little bit different to a normal live. You know, normally I'm sitting at the piano and you guys are asking me to play songs, and I thought that this would be very informative because, you know, you guys are all over the place. You know, some of you are in Florida. Just to tell you a little bit about Piano Distributors, they have 7 stores here in Florida. This is one of them. We're in Jupiter right now, and two stores in Georgia. I
That's
believe,
right, in the Atlanta area.
Yeah. So I wanted you to meet Steve, and I wanted you to be able to ask questions. So I do have some questions, Steve, that some people asked me before this live stream, and I want you guys that if you have a question now that you've seen us here and you've seen Steve, if you have a question, Vanessa's here. She's going to write down those questions, so you have 10 minutes to write some questions down. But we're going to go through these because I think it's interesting that some of these questions are pretty neat.
Okay.
So we've got. Oh, listen to that! I love that. My nana and granddad had one of those. Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
What's your best-selling piano?
Probably in terms of numbers, Yamaha Clavinova. So the
Clavinova.
digital Clavinova series of product, which again meet some really affordable price points, but have the feel very much like a good acoustic piano, have pedaling just like a good acoustic piano, but have benefits such as headphone capability,
Right.
doesn't go out of tune, variety of sounds, it records, and just all that's built into it. So Clavinova first, then probably our next biggest selling product would be a grand piano, a baby grand, with or without the player system.
Okay.
So we sell more Clavinovas than upright acoustic pianos, but still sell a very large amount of baby grand pianos.
Super. So it's interesting you talk about the Clavinova and the action, because I've got Lee Cornwall from the United Kingdom. He's learning some of my sheets and doing really well. So he's interested to know about what you think about the action of a digital hybrid piano compared to an acoustic.
Well, that's kind of three different things. So the hybrid piano is a digital piano that actually has a wooden action built into it.
Oh, very cool.
So instead of simulating the feel of an acoustic piano, it actually operates the same way in terms of,
Because it has the hammers and everything?
it has, well, it doesn't really have hammers, but it has everything but that hammer that hits the string.
Okay.
And to the purist or to someone that just has to have a very real experience, hybrid is done very well. It's kind of a limited audience because it's expensive.
Right.
But still, again, being in Florida, we have so many piano playing customers, many have grand pianos back home, and some of them who play at a really high level want that same feel, but can't have an acoustic piano here, maybe because of a condo situation
Right.
or whatever. So hybrid, that's the purpose of hybrid.
There you go, Lee. Hope that answered your question. Another question that Lee asked as well, he has an upright, I think it's a Yamaha upright that he has. What are your thoughts about leaving the cover off an acoustic ground, leaving the hammers showing? Because he likes the way that it looks and sounds,
Yeah.
but he's concerned about dust and humidity. What's your thoughts on that?
I think I would not be worried about that.
I don't think I would either.
Yeah, and I think the pianos sound really cool, like an upright with the lid open. Of course, naturally, a grand piano lid is open,
Yeah.
but it is very, he might also
He's
be.
talking about taking the front off. You know, I think taking the front
Do
off
it.
on above the keyboard, but I also think taking the front off above the pedals too.
Well, we're piano nuts.
We are, because those strings on the piano, on the upright, listen, you like you said, you open the lid of the grand, it's the
Yeah.
full length of the string. If you take both front covers off, it's the same thing.
Yeah, and I don't
Both
think,
strings are open.
I don't think humidity is gonna be any different in
No.
terms, that's, caring for a piano is a whole nother thing, and part of that is humidity control.
Yeah. I know at my house, listen, when we're having air conditioners on, right, because we're in Florida, right, we have AC on,
Yeah,
the AC sucks out the bad air,
yeah,
and it brings in the good air, and when it does that, it dehumidifies the house.
Right.
When the AC is not running like now, I've got my dehumidifier running all the time,
Yeah.
and it's got a little hose that goes down, and it just dumps all of that moisture, and it's unbelievable. You can get like 24 gallons of water in a day.
yeah. All of my learning has been that pianos, the wooden pianos really likes 40 to 50%
Yeah.
humidity. So, the key is just keeping it as close to that as possible and not having big changes in both
Yeah.
humidity and temperature, because temperature affects humidity
Yeah,
as well,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
So,
Just trying to keep it stable. Yeah.
stable.
So yeah, Lee, I would take the covers off, the front covers on both, above the keyboard and below, I would do it. And when you're not gonna use it, rather than putting them back on again, just put a blanket over it and something, or a cloth, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to have it open. If your neighbors don't bang on the wall like mine used to. So I got another question. This is from Louis. He's in Montreal, Canada. Avid fan. He's just started his own YouTube channel. He's putting some music videos on there. So, and he's been looking to buy, right? He's been looking to buy. It's like everything I show him, he wants to buy, right? So his question is $8,000 to $10,000 the correct budget for a used baby grand?
Yes. I think those numbers are pretty accurate. Not that you couldn't find something for less.
Yeah.
But the key when buying a baby grand piano, especially pre-owned, is hopefully it was played,
Yeah.
not just sitting somewhere with pictures on
Absolutely.
top of it,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't played excessively, but I would always recommend, if you're serious about the piano purchase, hire a piano technician to go look at it.
Perfect. What a great piece of advice. Yeah. And it's amazing that, you and I talked about this yesterday. We see so many ads on Facebook Marketplace, this piano is $5,000 and it's 1883, right? There's a lot of issues with a piano like that. I'm not kidding. I know somebody who has a Steinway that's apparently worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's never played. It's grossly out of tune.
It's not worth a lot of money if it hasn't been played and
Right.
cared for.
Yeah.
And when you asked about 8 to 10,000, the reason I said yes so quickly is kind of comparing that to a very good solid new baby grand, or 5 foot, let's say to 5'8", which would sell $16,000 to $25,000 range. We think about lifespan of a good acoustic piano to be about 60 years.
60 years.
Just on average, if
Yeah.
it's cared for. So if a piano's 30 years old and it's of that caliber, it should sell for about 50% of the price of the new one.
Okay.
So that's kind of the little gauge to think about when you're looking at pre-owned
Interesting.
pianos. The benefit of buying a pre-owned piano from a dealer, if it's a good dealer and reputable, is that they've looked at the piano.
Absolutely.
They've looked at it and probably looked at it before it was traded in. And then has a service department to clean, not to redo, so to speak, but just to make sure that the piano plays well, the action is in good regulation, and there are no surprises. And with that, you'll usually get a warranty from a dealer. So we have a 1-year warranty on all the mechanics
On a
of
used
any
piano.
pre-owned piano that we
Wow,
sell.
fantastic. How about that, Lewis? That really, Louis, sorry. I've been saying Lewis for 7 months, 8 months. It's interesting that you say that. How many pianos do you just throw away? They're just junk.
I call it piano heaven.
You do? It's like the piano graveyard or what?
Yeah, I mean, they don't last forever, and you're doing, by keeping old pianos alive that shouldn't be alive, you're not doing a good service to the whoever's gonna use that piano.
Right.
You know, you really need good mechanics
Yeah.
if you're gonna learn to play a musical instrument.
So you see a lot of those pianos
So we
coming
see
back?
pianos that have just decayed and maybe not been used, or, have just been sitting, home. And long story short, yes, we make a decision,
Yeah.
and sometimes we have to take them to piano heaven. Nothing's really salvageable in a
Right.
pre-owned piano in terms of like reusing it,
Using anything.
but, so yes, that does occur.
Interesting. He has another piano question. Young Chan.
Uh-huh.
He mentions Young Chan. What do you think of them?
I think they're good, but again, it depends on condition.
Yeah.
So when I have customers coming in looking for pre-owned, yes, there are brands that people have more confidence in, but it always comes down to how the piano was cared for. And every manufacturer has good instruments and has great instruments. But then every manufacturer also has a place in the market. And Yongchang was I wouldn't call it a premium, in general, a premium top-of-the-line piano, but, a good solid family piano.
Okay.
So,
There you go, Lewis. What's the best standard non-Disklavier Yamaha piano and why? Is there one?
what's the
Best standard non-Disklavier Yamaha.
Well, our very best is
Piano.
called a Yamaha CFX Concert Grand, which is a hand-built 9-foot. And then below that is a series called S, which is right behind us here.
Okay.
So this is very premium, and it's all about performance and tone. But our most popular pianos are between 5 foot and 6 foot in length, and they're the G series or the C series.
Okay. G series or C series is the most popular.
Yeah, our number one selling piano is a GB1K, which is a
GB1K.
5 foot.
Which is the one I have.
Right.
Because you guys sent it to my house, and I thank you so much. This is how it all started, guys, and I thank you so much for the support and how these guys have gotten interested. And I do love that piano. I love that you can do so much with it, and I've gotten really used to overlaying the strings and the MIDI capabilities of it.
Yeah.
Fabulous piano.
It's possible to have an upright piano that's better than the baby grand piano, if it's a better design, if it was better cared for.
Yeah.
So just because it's a grand piano doesn't mean it's great.
Right.
It's all about that grand piano.
Yeah. But I think if you have a place that's too small, a grand could be overpowered.
Mhm.
You've got to have the space to be able to let that sound
Right.
travel and not get this. I've got a question from Vuk Stefanik. He's from Serbia, and he wants to know if there are pros and cons of ivory keys.
Well, ivory keys were beautiful to touch, but the problem with ivory keys is, number one, it's not available today, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When did they change that?
Gosh, I'm gonna say the early sixties, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyhow, ivory keys, the problems with them is they would discolor. And also the keys are in several pieces, the key tops, and there's a good chance that would crack.
And then they lift up, they come up.
And they lift up and, or they chip easily.
Yeah.
So today we have synthetic ivory. This piano right here, you'll notice these aren't bright white, and this has the actual makeup of how an ivory key
Oh,
feels.
wow. That is totally different.
Yep. And the ebonies are actually simulated as well, but it feels like traditional ebony wood. So,
Amazing.
yep.
See, I never would have known that.
So we're being friendly when possible to animals
Yeah.
with the ivory
Yeah.
issue, and saving trees if we can do things differently with great purpose.
Love it. He's asking as well, Luke is asking, are there sensitive sustain pedals for digital pianos that are as sensitive as acoustic grands? I think we already
There
answered
are.
that it's just the real thing, right?
Yeah, there are, and he might be talking about accessories for a digital.
Yeah.
So the worst sustain pedal for a digital piano is the one that looks like a sewing machine pedal. You know, it's flat
Yeah.
and sits on the ground.
Yeah.
Problem is it can flop around while
Yeah.
you're using
It
it,
can, yeah.
flip over,
Yeah.
you know. But if you can get a piano style pedal that actually looks like this,
Yeah.
except it's in a little compartment so that it doesn't flip around.
And it's got some weight to it.
It's got some weight to it, and it's got, most of the digital pianos are not sustained on or off, it's gradual, so you need a good pedal to pick up on that.
Right. He also mentions that he's opening to promoting any piano in Serbia. All right.
Wow, that's beautiful.
We've got one last, two questions actually, two last questions, and then we'll go and have a look at some products. And I hope you guys are enjoying this little Q&A. We asked you to write questions down, and this is great. What's your personal favorite piano that you played?
Oh, that's a terrible question.
I know it is.
Because when you love pianos, you love them all.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel the same way, you know.
yeah, I don't know if I can answer that. I mean,
And you know what I think as well, just from being a player, is it depends what mood you're in too.
it does.
And it depends on the acoustics of your environment.
Yeah.
When I was a piano player on cruise ships, you know, we had about 12 pianos dotted all around the ship. And I must say that I was playing a C3, which is a really nice Yamaha piano, right, in the piano bar. But when I was to go into the band, the stage, the theater, right, where the main shows, they either had a C5 or a C7.
Yeah.
And my goodness, when I played one of those, from playing the C5,
Yeah.
it was just the length of the notes and the depth of the bass
Yeah.
notes were just incredible.
Yeah.
But I was on a stage and it was just big, you know, so.
Pianos I love sound great every time I play them. In other words, to me, that's kind of a test of a good instrument.
Yeah.
The more you play it and the more you continue to love it, is telling you that it's fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't have a favorite.
No, me neither.
Mhm.
One last question. This is funny, because a couple of decades ago, you would have answered this, go see a music teacher, right?
Right.
What's the best way to learn piano? I mean, it still is the best way to learn the piano,
Yeah.
right? To have private tuition.
You know, sure. So I don't know if I'm necessarily qualified to answer that question, but all I will tell you is that there are a lot of tools out there. And we have kids that come into our store that have learned to play on YouTube,
Amazing.
that play Chopin beautifully.
Just from following somebody
Just
playing.
from following somebody
Yeah.
playing.
And you know, you guys do the same thing, you know. I've seen guys that can't read music at all, because I have some of the sheets available for my arrangements. Some of them can't read music, you know, but I'm watching them pick these things up, you know,
Right.
the songs, just from following the notes because the camera's looking down.
Yeah.
It's staggering.
I think children at a young age, first, second grade, I think you need a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, and you definitely need a teacher if you've discovered that you have great talent.
Yeah.
Because that teacher's just gonna improve upon that.
Yeah.
And if they can't teach further with the talent you have, they'll make the proper recommendation
Right.
of another teacher. So,
And read the reviews, folks.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've reviews and,
I mean, people have asked me if I would teach, and my answer is no, because I don't have the patience, because I think you should be able to pick it up really quick.
yeah,
It's not everybody that can do that, you know,
No.
it's a real challenge, and so you have to find somebody who's got that, you know, stability to be able to bring you from where you start to where you're gonna end up.
right.
Yeah. So folks, I think we should just show them some stuff, right?
Okay,
That was fun. Keep the questions coming. We're here to help you. We're here to tell you all about all these goodies. And where should we start? Should we start on one of the entry level Clavinovas?
sure.
Let me get the camera going.
So I'll try and keep this as still as I can, folks.
So this model is where our digital pianos begin in terms of your investment. It's, as you can see, it's $2,399. It's a Yamaha CLP 735. You'll notice it has 3 pedals
Yep.
that are built into the cabinet. These won't flop around because they're
Part of the cabinet.
part of the cabinet. The cabinet, even though this is digital, actually affects tone as well.
Right.
So the better built the cabinet is, that's just better housing, that's gonna have better sound. And then digitally, this is actually recorded from, in this case, there's a button that says CFX. It's recorded from a Yamaha CFX concert grand,
Cool.
which I mentioned earlier was the top. So when I play it, it's this tiny little box. But
It is small.
It's small. This is what spin-it pianos look like,
Right.
right? So you can hear the depth of it. The keys are heavier in the bass. They get lighter as you come up the scale, just like on an acoustic piano because of the size of the hammers. But again, I can learn my piano pieces here. Repetition is great.
Yeah.
Actions in good digital pianos actually are more like a grand piano as opposed to an upright piano. Because on a grand piano, the hammer comes from underneath, strikes the string, it lets off, but then it's immediately able to repeat.
Right.
So on an upright piano, the hammer comes from the side, hits the string, but almost has to come all the way back to hit it again. So because of that, on an upright, if I do this,
Right.
you'll find that
It's not easy to do.
it's not easy to do,
Yeah.
but it is on a good digital piano.
That's brilliant. And that's 2,400 bucks.
Mhm. And there's, the fact that it records is great. So that's very simple. We just touch record. Pause or stop. I'll save it. Play it. Here we go. And you could continue recording. You could continue to.
Oh, after that?
Yeah, I could add another layer with.
Oh, that's pretty
strings.
cool.
That was my recording 2 days ago.
I like the sound of that.
Oh, Vanessa likes that one.
Richard Johnston would like to know, does the store have a Clavinova CLP 635?
Well, 635 was,
And what is your opinion on it?
635 was the previous edition of the 735.
Oh, okay. That's what this one is.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, 635 was just an enormously popular piano. In 735, every time there's a new edition of Clavinova, there's more finesse with it. The tone just gets more sensitive because of the engineering. I think what I've noticed about the 735 versus the 635 is number one, the quickness of the action.
Right, right. I can see that.
How fast it responds, and the sound is just getting.
It's staggering. I think back to 1985 when I was selling these and how much they've advanced. It's unbelievable,
Yeah,
Steve.
you'd have to say to a customer back then, doesn't that kind of sound like a piano?
Yeah, but it never did it?
But it never does, but today it does. And of course, just having variety, like adding strings.
Yeah, right. You could never do that.
So the features and the different sounds are like extra energy to keep kids motivated,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Headphones is great, as we said earlier, both for the rest of the family. Not that you want to turn a person off that's playing,
Right.
but there are times when, you know, you just want to explore your musicality, and headphones can be great.
Yeah.
USB's right down here, so I can plug a flash drive in,
Yep.
play all kinds of music that I've gotten on the internet or that I've recorded myself.
And it'll play the sounds in the piano. How
Yep.
cool.
Yep. So, actually I have a flash drive right here. Oh, there's one plugged in. So if I go to song, USB, here's a nice, tasty piano, La Vie en Rose. So when it plays these files, it's playing touch, it's using the pedals.
Sounds great.
So, benefit, so if we're buying our first piano, if I purchase an upright piano, it's a piano.
Right.
If I purchase a Clavinova digital piano, it's a piano for you, maybe everyone else that doesn't play with the autoplay features.
Yeah.
But it's still a great musical instrument for the one that's learning.
Love it. So you have a few here. These are what are the differences really? Mainly,
You
it
know,
is just
the main differences as you go up the line are speaker system,
yeah,
sampling rate, in other words, the technology of recording the piano sound,
Yeah.
and amplifier.
yeah. It's very similar to the Electrons back in the day, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know. So you got
So
this one here,
These
which
are
is very
two number
similar.
one sellers, so
These
735
two,
and
this one.
745.
Oh, 745
Yeah.
here.
This is a plastic key, but it's engineered to feel just like an acoustic key.
Yeah.
However, these are wooden keys
Oh, they are.
on this model.
I see.
So-
That's why you're paying for the difference, right?
It's kind of like my families come in and they gravitate to the 735.
Yeah.
My more people that have played piano a long time
Yeah.
or just have owned a piano before kind of gravitate
To that
towards
one.
that one. So,
So-
then next time we get together, we also have the CSP series, and they're iPad and tablet driven.
Oh, cool.
So, but I kind of want to, we'll do that next time. They're
Okay.
fabulous.
Let's go over to this one because I think this one's pretty cool. What model is this one, Steve?
So this is part of the CVP series, and top of the line last year, it's called the 709 GP. Today, it's called an 809 GP.
Okay.
And it's both a great piano with all the attributes of a fantastic speaker system.
It's got a lot of buttons.
It's got a lot of buttons. Those buttons are for a reason, though. There's rhythm styles,
Cool.
there's orchestrated backgrounds, there's hundreds of sounds, 16-track recording. So, you know, karaoke features.
Does it really?
Mhm.
Plug a microphone in?
Yeah, well, we forgot about that. We could have hooked that up and you could have sung.
Oh, we need beers for that.
Everybody. But the biggest difference you'll see is it's got this big screen in the center.
I see that. Yeah. Oh, I'm keep hitting this tripod.
So
here.
that screen just tells
See
you,
this.
you know, what sound is on.
Yeah.
If I had a recording, it's kind of located there, rhythm styles there. And then, you know, extra features like changing the key I'm playing in, splitting the keyboard, adjusting balance of tones. You know, the other thing about a digital piano is you could have volume down, but play very hard.
Oh, look at that. It changes so the velocity and everything.
So I can still work just as hard if I need to be quiet. I guess so that's just another little bullet point of a digital piano.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show you record. Here, I'll do a new MIDI. I recorded earlier today, so I'm not going to save it. And this records in either MIDI or audio.
Okay.
MIDI is the language that digital that all this digital product speaks. Musical instrument digital interface. Audio is audio.
Yeah.
So I can put a MIDI file on a computer and bring it into a notation program and see notes. You can't do that with audio. Excuse me, so.
That's all right. Let me come over here because I'm getting a little bit of glare on that screen. I want people to see this. Oh, look at me. No, even worse there. Yeah, I'll figure it out. No, I think that's good. Oh, that's good. I can see it now.
I'm sorry.
You see it, everyone? Yep, so you can see what you're doing next. You're going to record a song, right?
Don't look at my technique.
That was the first song I ever learned to play.
Yeah,
What about you?
same thing.
Yep, merrily we roll along.
Okay, so then what's cool is, there's my score.
Look at this. This is cool. So that's playing it.
Another, great Yamaha feature is called Guide. Watch this. So it waits for me to play. So you could set this up for a student where the student is learning to sight read and has to play the correct notes for it to continue.
So I see the little red lights are coming on there, right? As well on the notes.
If I play an incorrect note, nothing happens. And uh-oh, I've got to hit all these.
Very cool. What happens if you do it with two hands?
Oh, two hands?
Yeah, it does the
Yeah,
same
I can
thing.
play the same. I can play new MIDI. Don't save that. Stop. I need to tell the piano system that I use two hands on the grand staff.
So two MIDI tracks, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So there it is. Stop.
So cool. So it's interesting. Somebody just said on here, and you need to use this, Neil. It would save you a fortune because I have my my transcripts. They're done by transcribers, and the whole thing. We've talked about this many times. It's the quantization
Right.
that's the challenge, right?
Right.
I'm going to turn this around. So, notation-wise, yes, you can get all the notes in the right
But
place.
this has quantation features.
So what can you do with that music once you've recorded it?
I can perfect it.
You can?
Yeah, number one is I should have recorded with a metronome.
You see, that's the problem. I can't play with a
I
metronome.
know it.
It just makes you, I don't know, it just makes you, feels like a robot, right? You're
Right.
just very mechanical. So how's this? Are you enjoying this? This is a lot of fun, isn't it? So look, we were talking about that 9-foot concert grand, and here it is right here. And you can see the length of this. It's just unbelievable. What a sound. What a sound. And we're just using the phone here. We've got no mics. We've just got the microphone built into the phone.
Yeah. A fine acoustic piano is an amazing being.
It's unbelievable.
Bruce wants to know what the price of the machine is.
Which one?
Oh, this
We
one?
were just talking about, yeah.
That one? 14.
So the Clavinovas CVP, that's called the 709 GP, and it's 12,900. But we have CVP models that begin at about 4,000 that have that light system and the score.
Cool.
And again, what makes that more expensive is amplification, but also the look of it. It's a little mini brand.
Yeah. Let me play a song on here. Because I wanted.
What about, Lee wants to know, oh, no, he's asking someone else.
Oh, he is? Let me play this one, which a lot of people always ask me for. Just for the tone. You have to think I'm playing the Aston Martin.
It's the design, it's the wood.
But it takes 6 years to build this.
I mean, beginning with seasoning the wood. And so because of that beauty and that sound, one thing I've learned is I'll never say to a customer, you need to buy a digital piano or you need to buy an acoustic piano.
Right.
Because it's not me, it's them.
Yeah.
And obviously that's different, right?
It is.
It's exquisite.
It is. You know, and even inside, you look at the workmanship in this. It's just.
Lee has tipped you for Begin The Beguine on the Bosendorfer.
Really?
Yes,
How much did he tip me? It depends how much he tipped me.
£3.
All right, let's do a little bit of it, if I can remember it. Very,
great.
very sweet.
We need to open a piano bar.
Piano bar. Yeah. Okay, so what have we got over here? This is the Disklavier, right?
Right, this is a 5-foot Disklavier. I tell you what, let's go over here, if it's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Because I want to show you a cool little thing that this Disklavier will do.
Yeah, I think all of my people on here that have been watching me for the last 8 months or so have seen a lot of what Disklavier does, but
Okay. Well, I wonder
they
if they've
probably
ever
haven't seen this.
This is called SmartKey. So I've never played the piano before, right?
All right, just let me see what you're doing on that app. Let me show everyone here.
Okay, let me go back to home page. So this piano has songs that are built in, a record feature. Disklavier TV is just unbelievable. We can watch a concert on television and the piano's playing. Disklavier radio is streaming music. Music Shop is connecting to Yamaha's shop to buy songs for the piano. But let's just, for now, go back to songs. Go to built-in songs. And let's get rid of this volume thing here. Open up the SmartKey folder. So, I'm going to play Can't Help Falling in Love. So if I've never played the piano before, and we start this, looks like, uh-oh. You see the key wiggling?
What's happening? Hang on.
Key's wiggling. So I'm going to play that key. Go to the next one. But I've got a friend playing along with me.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the lights on the Clavinova, except it's a key moving.
And what happens if you don't hit it? It just keeps wiggling.
It just keeps wiggling. So you want to...
You hit that before it wobbled.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's...
See, I did the wobbly thing this morning.
Uh-huh.
All right, Vanessa's here.
Lee wants to know, do you, Steve, prefer new or second-hand pianos that have been looked after? So either new pianos or second-hand that have been looked after. You don't have to.
Well, the benefit of a new piano is that it's yours from the beginning.
It is.
And it's going to develop a personality because of you.
Yep.
And that is the part multifold, but one is because you're caring for it or not caring for it.
Yep.
Second is the type of music you play on it and what notes you play more than others.
Right.
Isn't that true?
It is true. And I'm turning the camera around because I remember my piano tuner constantly said to me to replace my GA1. He hated that piano.
Right.
And it's funny, when I look back on some of the videos that I did with that piano, it's dreadfully out of tune.
Right.
And he was here like every couple of months or so. But I loved it. You get used to your own piano, right?
Right.
But when the GB1K came, I didn't find it as bright. But I tell you what, to take it away now and bring my GA1 back, I'd be in here screaming, and you'd never get me out of here.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
But to answer that question too, there are times that we trade in a piano and, you know, I'll play it and I'll go, my God, that's the nicest, whatever it is I've ever played.
Really?
And I would definitely buy this piano.
Yeah,
So it's about the instrument.
it is. It is,
you know?
totally.
And I don't know if I can say go one way or the other, it's about the instrument.
Yeah. And I think somebody has to come in and play it.
Mhm.
They have to sit down and play it, right?
Yeah.
Especially a used one. Vanessa, come here. We're gonna get you to play Autumn Leaves here.
Oh, the wobbly things.
Listen, Vanessa doesn't play. She's always wanted to play, but let's see how she.
Can I have a stool?
Do you want a
Sure,
stool?
but you can actually
Go,
play it standing.
go get a stool. Pull a stool. Pull a stool over. Vanessa thinks she's Liberace now.
Right.
So Vanessa's never played piano. This is those strings. Beautiful.
Where's the other one? Go on.
Beautiful. You played the piano.
It's so much fun. I can sit here all day and do that till I get faster.
It's so cool.
Instead of going all like, you know.
Do you want to pick another one?
Yeah.
Let's do... Is it wobbling yet?
Let's see. Yep.
You do. You really do love it,
I
don't you?
could do this all day, honestly.
And not get sick of it.
No, no.
And there are 10 songs in there, Steve, right?
Yeah, or we have more too, but that's what's built in.
That's what's built in. But
Actually,
you,
a little more than 10.
but you can buy more of them on the Yamaha store.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
So I guess it is about 10. So I wanted to bring you to this piano, which is pretty special. This is a Bosendorfer as well. It's, if you look right here, limited edition Oscar Peterson,
Wow, are you kidding me?
piano 3 of 12. And then here's a beautiful silhouette.
Wow, look at that. Oh, look, we're both in the camera in the reflection. That's great. I love it.
And then
here.
if you look at
So number 3 of 12 in the world?
yes. And then this is a previous Disklavier that has a control head. But you'll notice when I go into memory, there's a folder called Oscar Peterson.
Oh, my goodness me.
So if I enter that folder, Body and Soul, this is when Oscar Peterson was alive. He made recordings at Bosendorfer on their reproducing player piano.
Get out.
And so I'll just go to
I got goosebumps.
about Honeysuckle Rose.
This is amazing.
With the pedals.
was an animal. You know what? It's amazing because, listen, we all have great respect for what he did.
Right.
But seeing it on a piano where the keys go down is kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
He was a monster player. Monster player. That was fascinating.
But the Disklavier reproduces it so perfectly.
Yeah, it does. It's just amazing. How many years ago did he record those songs?
Gosh, Neil, I'm not sure.
A long time ago. It must have been a long time.
Probably, you know, what, in the 90s? Or...
Jeez, amazing. Because she said that they've been out since the 80s, the early 80s. Wow, folks. That blew my mind. That was amazing.
So maybe one more. Are we good with time? Or...
Yeah, sure. You guys enjoying this? Oh, how much is that piano, Steve? They were just asking.
That piano is $160,000.
160 grand. But it is special. It's incredibly special.
These have these are important to our industry.
Right. Yeah.
So an alternative to digital pianos is a traditional acoustic piano with a headphone feature.
Perfect.
And it's like, how does that happen? Well, I'll turn it on. And right there. This is a high-tech piano, USB,
And it's an upright.
metronome, it's an upright, there's more sounds. But first of all, an acoustic piano until I push the middle pedal down and slide it over.
Oh, do that again. Sorry, I missed that.
So,
So you take... Okay. So now the action's off.
so the action's off, and there's a device that's blocking the hammers from hitting the strings. And it's this bar right here. You see it? Right there.
Where are we? Okay, let me hold this up. Do that pedal again, and we'll probably see it.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, I saw it.
did it turn?
Yep. Yep, and now it's in place, and it's stopping the hammers from hitting those strings.
So then I plug headphones in, and I hear the Yamaha CFX or a Bosendorfer sample
Through the
through
headphones.
the headphones. So it's called a silent piano, and gaining more and more popularity all the time.
Yeah.
Again, if there's some technology with tradition, it sells faster.
Wow.
So this is very cool, and I just wanted to show you that.
Lee has another question.
And that's not too expensive, really, when you think about you getting a Yamaha upright, you know,
Yeah.
with all the technology that Yamaha has, and all plus the USB,
Yeah.
plus the silent piano for $9,000, right?
Yeah, it records as well.
Yeah. Does it do the keys go down the same as
It does not.
No. Okay, but it does record.
Yep.
Lee has another question for you, Steve.
Okay.
Why buy a bigger, more expensive upright acoustic? Example, Yamaha B1 compared to Yamaha U1.
Well, a taller piano
Like this one. That's a
like
taller
this.
one.
This is a
right.
B3, but might be easier to show here. This is a P series, which is a 45-inch piano. The B1 is 43.5, and the U1, which I don't have right now, is 48 inches tall.
Okay.
But what happens is the sounding board,
See if I can get that here.
this wood here,
Yeah.
sounding board is a different size, right? Because of the height of the piano.
Okay. Yeah. Makes
So if I
sense.
have a larger piano, I can have a larger sounding board. So what does that do for you? It gives you more sustain. It also gives you more color of sound, and it gives you more clarity. So that's just, and there's much more there's other features that have to do with sound, but that's the biggest, most obvious one. And then second is the bass strings, which are copper wound. In a taller piano,
Oh, okay.
they can be longer, just like in a baby grand versus a
Yeah.
grand. And a longer string equates to more depth.
So the one over here, do the strings go straight down?
No, they all go on an angle
Okay.
like that.
They
so
but they're not copper.
but they're all copper.
Oh, they
yes.
are. Okay.
But my point is, if it's taller, the string can
The
be longer.
strings are longer, of course.
So-
Yeah.
There's other things too, but those are the two most obvious reasons why, you know, a U1 would be a higher grade piano than a B1. However, I'll preface that by saying, you know, do I want to buy a 20-year-old U1 or a brand new B1? And if everything was equal, yes, I'd buy the U1, but maybe that U1's not in as good of condition.
Right, because you said 60-year lifespan, right?
As a brand new B1,
Yeah.
B2, B3.
That you can look after from day one in the right way. A bit like cars, isn't it? You know, you see a car that's 20 years old, you see the mileage on it, you don't know how many oil
Most
changes
people
it's.
wouldn't buy a car that's 20 years old.
No.
But they would buy a piano,
Yeah,
right? I never
true.
thought about that.
Yeah. But you just don't know how many oil changes it's had and what the maintenance schedule looks like. Similar with tuning, you know, because.
How many tunings it's had.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
So, so again, it just comes down to that particular piano.
Yeah.
Which is so important.
What an amazing journey it's been this afternoon. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. You had fun? You had fun? We're back to. It's been enlightening, Steve. It's been really good, and I think we need to go back down to this. There's a Bosendorfer down here, right? We could do a couple of songs maybe as we end this live stream. And again, if any of you are in Florida, Georgia, you know, you want to ask Steve a question or you want to make an appointment with him, Steve, what's your number? What's your cell phone
My
number?
cell phone is area code 941-447-8090.
All right, so you've got that. We'll put it in the description as well. Any of you that are outside the country or outside of that selling it, Steve, how far do you go? I mean, you've got Georgia covered,
No.
certain places.
So we really take care of our immediate market here.
Yeah.
I recommend if you're, you know, in Tennessee, that you go visit your local dealer
Okay.
and check them out.
Yep.
And a
Stay-
piano is such a specialized item. You really want to try to buy it locally if you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
just because of the service
Okay.
aspect.
Love it. Love it. All right, so give me 3 songs, guys. Are you going to play something, Steve?
No, I don't. My repertoire is not strong enough.
It doesn't matter. Just play something on this lovely piano so that I can film the action and stuff on this, and
This is a great piano too. This is a Bosendorfer 225. And if you come around, you'll notice it has a few extra keys.
oh,
There you are.
oh,
So that
Look
feature
at that.
goes back to the early 1900s.
press that note again, because it just looks like that.
It's really, so if I understand it correctly, the extra notes were desired for organ repertoire, like Bach,
Really?
and kind of imitating pedals
Wow.
on an organ.
And like a cathedral organ.
So that's, yeah, a pipe organ. So that's why they're there, but a more common thing about it is they're always vibrating. So it's enhancing the tone of the piano. Because when I push the sustain pedal down, not only is this note vibrating, everything else is too, because all the dampers are up.
Yeah.
But,
Magic. It's a magic sound when you come over here too, and when you walk around it, everywhere you walk is a different sound. It's beautiful.
we're so lucky to have these pianos.
You really are.
There's another question for Steve.
Oh, another question for Steve.
This is from Ron Domansky. What do you recommend to use to clean piano keys?
Piano keys. If they're plastic key tops, I mean, there's some industry products made by a company called Cory, C-O-R-Y. But, you know, I'm kind of fussy with my piano, so I take a spray bottle, put a little bit of like Dawn detergent, something very mild, in the spray bottle and water, mix it up, and then spray it on the cloth and wipe off the keys. I know if you go to Yamaha's website, they've got a really good description of how to, you know, in the times we're living in right now, how to disinfect keys. And
Oh, right.
it's on Yamaha's website, but anyhow, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm the only one playing my piano in my house, so.
Right. Well,
Would be,
now I have
washing up liquid.
right.
People.
Now I have Vanessa playing my piano because of
Right, 'cause
the
it's
smart key. Yeah.
Oh, we do live together.
So, do I have any song requests? We're going to end with a couple of songs. I saw Bridge Over Troubled Water. I don't do it. Can't remember it.
Fly Me to the Moon. Let me see. Okay, Richard Johnston wants to know how much would the Bosendorfer cost?
Which one?
Which one? Which one?
The Oscar Peterson one was 160, you said? 160,000?
Forrest Gump is one request from Sean Berg Viking. Piano Man, oh, they're all coming in. Feelings. Sailing. I love this too. that
We're not going to
sound.
do piano, are we? Because I don't have the harmonica without the singing. It's
No,
just
someone said Daddy would sound great on that piano.
Daddy? It is lovely. It's nice. It's nice.
They love the sound of that.
I think those kinds of songs are beautiful for this, you know. It's very mellow. It's a very mellow piano.
You know,
Yeah.
the softness and the subtleness of the
Yeah.
piano.
So you've got so far. I mean, you can't play. You haven't got time.
I know, I
Keep
can't play all
Stevie.
of those, but we're going to catch up on this next Sunday with the songs and stuff, but I really wanted to bring you into the store and kind of a behind the scenes, closed doors, because we're closed, right? You're closed today, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Steve, I want to thank you
You're welcome.
so much for allowing us to come in here and sample all the good stuff that you have. You must love your job.
I love my job. I do.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been selling
30
pianos?
years.
30 years selling
Yeah.
pianos, right? And you've kept up with all of this technology.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But thank you to all your friends for tuning in too.
No, you're welcome. And this is going to go up as a video. Probably, it'll probably be ready tonight as an upload, you know, so people will be able to tune in. You'll be able to share this as well with, you know,
Great.
potential customers, people
Yeah.
that, and the live chat will be there, so we'll be able to see what all these guys were saying behind our back as well. Although Vanessa's been keeping an eye on this. So thank you for coming in, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you next Sunday, same time, 3 o'clock. I'll be at the house, and I'll be doing songs for you. And remember, if you're in this area, you have any questions, you want to make an appointment to come here to any of the stores in Florida, right?
Sure.
Give Steve a holler, and he'll be able to help you. All right? Have a great rest of your night, and we will catch up with you next week. Cheers, mate, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.